show strong, fierce, and a little strange like a Finn Balor entrance. On the 19th anniversary of the greatest in-ring performer of all time losing his smile, I welcome back my co-host that has now found his smile, Mr. Michael Burham.
Hello folks, I'm back. Forgiven but not forgotten, of course. I'm here finally because I wanted to just take a break. Here in a unification match for the Intercontinental Championship with Mr. Razor Ramon here. He is, of course, we have Mr. Nick Horacek. Thank you for taking over from me last week, Nick.
Yeah. At least it worked out.
And last but not least, Mr. Dave Wade is joining us. Dave, how's it going?
Not bad, not bad. Still got Gogglebox Square Eyes from Kane Too Much Network, but hey, I guess give it in now. Accept it.
Yeah,
Just give it in. Yes, that's the big news. We can start this out right way. Hallelujah! The prodigal son has returned. Michael Burhan is finally a WWE Network subscriber.
Yeah, there's a reason. There's a reason. It's free for February, so technically, I'm not giving them any money.
Okay.
I'm basically...
Well, it was just that waits to ring to be seen whether you cancel it, doesn't it?
That's exactly it. And it's the fun thing about it as well. I really got my money's worth, and a lot of it is due to the fact that NXT Takeover Rivals was mwah, mwah. If it was a candy bar, it would be gluttonous.
Bellissimo.
Yeah, bellissimo.
But we'll talk more about that later on in the show because we got a whole bunch of news
so
to get
much
into.
of it. My shadow is burned into the wall like The Simpsons.
Yeah, and it's got some great content as well. Like, I've been watching old WCW shows. Me and Brandon were having like conversations while I was watching Battle Brawl. The one like letdown I'd say is with a lot of the old content, they don't have more than just one pay-per-view on there. I really would like them to update their WCW catalog, their ECW catalog.
Well, just the Nitro catalog needs
that needs a lot of updating. Yeah, and the thing is, they've got a vast tape library. They can do it. It's just whoever's dealing with that is not doing that justice, and it's one of the things that lets down the network, but it's not a big concern. If that makes sense.
Even though it's like their property and stuff, because of individuals involved in older promos, there's a lot of red tape to go through, isn't there? Surely.
Pretty much.
It's not a case of just bang, 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 up goes everything. Smoke me a kip, I'll be back for breakfast.
But yeah, it's basically one of those where I don't have. It's not a real big issue, but as well, you can also see how bad some wrestlers were. Some wrestlers who were seen as iconic, how bad their promos were. I was watching.
It does say it truly shows what holds the test of time, what was really great in your mind because you were a kid, and what holds
genuine
true now.
talent.
Exactly. I go back and I watch a lot of old ECW pay-per-views, and I'm like, how did Chris Chetty not get over? Like, how is Chris Chetty not like a WWE fucking superstar? Like, guys like that. Like, it's just little things that you miss that you're not paying attention to.
It's one of those things. I think Chetty had the charisma. He had the talent. I think one of the things that held him back...
But you know what I'm saying, though? Like you just... Because you're older now, you know a little bit more. Burhan and I have actually been in the wrestling business. We know what to look for. We're just like... You notice these certain different things. So it's almost like you're rewatching things. And then what made you, go nuts when you were a kid might not have that same effect to you. So you're really just, watching again. It's like a movie. It's the same way. You watch movies again after, 10, 15 years of not watching it. It's almost like you're watching it again because you're not the same person you were.
Yeah, and that's the main thing here. It's when you look at these things, you always want to figure out exactly what's going on, why it's going on. And like storylines as well, like the whole Dungeon of Doom storyline cracked me up.
But it was I recognized it was so horrible at the time, but now when you go back and watch it, it's so horribly hilarious.
It's like the Room of promos.
The shark.
Yeah.
It's a shark attack! Basically, John Tenta didn't change his promo style. It just basically, instead of went from natural disaster metaphors, it went into shark attack metaphors.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, if you watch the Shockmaster
the
as well...
Zodiac.
Yeah, if you look
Zodiac.
The Zodiac, who was Brutus Beefcake, wasn't he?
Yes,
Yeah.
again, one of my all-time favorite
Yeah.
moments that was
He transitioned from the Zodiac to the Booty Man.
the booty man, and then he was the disciple. Like,
Yes.
just literally, he was voiceless disciple. They took him off TV for a year, made him grow a beard and his hair out so no one would recognize him, and then put an NWO shirt on him.
Oh, and he also like allowed him to have a cardio body. The guy had abs that you could grate cheese on. That's the one thing I noticed about the Disciple being a very young man.
Yeah, I just again, you notice these things for some reason when you're a kid. But let's get on to the news of the week, because certainly we were not without a bit of controversy this week, and we should just get right into it because it was the biggest story of the week, and it definitely is going to be one of the biggest stories of the year by the time the year is out.
Yeah.
WWE face of the future, current Money in the Bank holder, and the man who I feel should be the next WWE World Heavyweight Champion, Seth Rollins, had a bit of a social media incursion, I guess you could say, when some pictures of a very recently signed WWE diva, I forget what this woman's name was.
Something French.
Does anybody remember? Something French, yeah, whatever. She's not going to be very much
Let's
around.
call her
much longer.
Frenchie Malone.
fuck.
Frenchie Malone.
Yeah, when Seth Rollins' Instagram account was posting topless pictures of her.
So basically, this was coming from his phone, peeps. Right. So.
Yes, this was coming from his phone while assumingly he was at Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
So you have to
So,
assume
well-
that Seth Rollins isn't dumb enough to be tweeting or to be,
So you got hacked.
accidentally.
He got hacked, but
I'm-
he didn't get Kurt Angle hacked, where he basically did it on his own and then said he got hacked. He actually got hacked. But there's also a bit of issues going on because Vince wants him to get fined. Vince Kennedy McMahon is having a bit of a kind of an outlandish situation with Triple H. Triple H thinks it's not his fault. He got hacked. That wasn't his fault. Rollins is now ex-girlfriend, has put herself as single, and she posted photos of his junk. Which, if you're a female wrestling fan, I think
It's good to know
you're gonna
Seth Rollins doesn't have everything. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's good to know Seth Rollins is in incredible shape, is working his dream job and getting the push of a lifetime.
washboard stomach.
Was dating a very beautiful woman, making lots of money. Famous guy. Good to know he doesn't have everything. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah,
Like
it's
Johnny
like
Carson once said, talking about David Beckham.
me and Brandon were having a conversation about penis size.
I didn't see the pictures. Okay, I will admit that I had not seen the pictures. I don't really have a desire to see
Isn't
the
it
pictures.
reassuring though? It's like
Neither
cuts
do
a bit,
I.
but
I've heard.
balances everything
I've
out,
heard.
because
I've heard.
like-
Okay,
you know,
I'm
David
gonna look
Beckham.
at these pictures. I'm taking one from the team.
You're gonna see it. You're
Yeah.
gonna look. All right. See, I didn't want to look.
Fine.
I have at least enough respect for the man not to look. It's a damn shame situation that.
He's all right.
this
It's
had
kind
to
of
happen to-
modest. Kind of
He's
modest.
fine, look, which crack?
Listen, good to know that he doesn't have everything.
He's kind of modest.
Well,
He
that's
has.
my point, isn't it?
I'd say you
That's
and
gone.
Seth Rollins kind of have something in common. You guys have something in common there, Brandon, from what I've been hearing. So it's not bad.
So God balances things out. He gives him this wonderful career, this wonderful woman, this shit hot body, and then just to make sure he feels grounded, he gives him a tinkler.
Yeah, he's just say he's known as the chosen one for a reason, but probably not known as the chosen one downstairs.
Oh, fuck.
Just good to know that
Maybe it was cold.
some guys don't have everything. Or also, one other thing that could be I could press this up to. Mr. Rollins is a known friend of an associate of mine, Mr. William Carr, and Mr. William Carr has been known to be a collector of dick pics. So maybe some of Mr. William Carr's negative
I've just seen it.
negative traits.
I've just seen it. With a bit of blood flow there, Brandon.
Maybe he's a shower, not a grower. Maybe what I'm saying.
he is a shower. He's got some big
Maybe
bones,
he wasn't trying to take. Maybe it wasn't a dick pic that he was sending. He was just really, really proud of his quads.
Yeah.
Guy works
okay.
out all the time. That's the best way to do it.
He's got an amazing body, but yeah, it's kind of. I think
He
his
didn't
body's
realise
grown.
this camera was in 16:9 mode.
Do you know what it is? His body's
CrossFit,
grown
man.
so much. His muscles have grown so big that they've gotten bigger than his dick. So it makes his dick look small.
So what you're saying is he's proportionately out of shape with himself?
Yes, exactly that. I think, you know what you need to do, Seth? You need to do
Dick steroids?
Day. No, yeah, you need to do Dick Day. Dick Day, you just need to do some dick push-ups, some, like, dick lunges, get some weights
He needs
on
to
there.
do dick fit.
He needs
Dick
yeah,
fit? That's
yeah.
what he needs.
He needs a 40k vest on that dick, just to like it pump.
like a 2-gram kettlebell.
Yes. Get that thing
Peaceful
going.
cowbell.
I think, you know what, Seth, we can resolve this problem. It's fine. Don't worry. Soon you will have a champion.
It should be cockfit. That should be cockfit.
You should have a championship penis in no time. So envious.
Lord.
Even Ron Jeremy would be more envious than you. But saying that, look, you've got your body. Ron Jeremy looks like a fat piece of shit. So, just saying.
Yeah.
Always.
You know.
No, that, mate, that's his deal.
But yes.
All I'm saying though.
Sorry, I've got to do
the other
this.
silver lining that I'm taking from this, guys.
Nick goes, hey Seth, we heard you got a small package.
Actually, that was gonna be up until NXT absolutely blew our minds away, and that's what we're gonna spend most of the time talking about it. But up until NXT blow our mind was Seth Rollins wins with a small package was going to be the episode title.
My 8-year-old daughter just googled Seth Rollins.
My 8-year-old daughter just googled Seth Rollins. Yeah.
And should we go to the other hypocritical statement? We're going to talk about the other hypocritical statement.
What? Yeah. Okay.
The Triple H in China thing. That how he doesn't want his 8-year-old daughter to Google China.
Oh yeah, no, we were talking about that last week on the last week's show. You want to get your 2 cents in on that? No, not that. No.
Basically, right. Dude's been associating himself with. Oh my god. Nick's just
what? What's so funny?
He said he's got Rollins' head photoshopped over Edge's body, calling him the new rated R superstar. From this day, he sees clearly, and so does everyone
here's
else.
Here's the one thing I think we could. They're taking away several silver linings from all of this.
Okay.
One, thank God, top talents back in the day like Shawn Michaels and Ric Flair, the guys who had notorious wild sides, we'll call it.
Oh boy,
some of the more party animals of wrestling's past. Thank God, thank the wrestling gods. Thank JBL. That those guys did not come up in the era of social media and the internet, because there would have been a new Ric Flair dick pic, I think, every 3 months or something like that.
Yeah,
like this one coming from a waitress in a Waffle House outside of Arlington, Virginia.
Or if you were a member of the plane ride from hell, you probably would have seen Ric Flair's dick anyway.
Exactly. This was Ric Flair arrested for soliciting, Shawn Michaels, would have definitely been an offender of his policy.
Was when he posed for Playgirl, which turned out was a gay mag.
Well, but I mean, again, posing for a gay mag
That's probably how he lost his smile. Just saying. All 8 inches of it. Anyway, I'm
sure pills had something to do with that too.
Probably kills the blood flow. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go into a little bit of kayfabe news, sponsored by kayfabenews.com. If you go to www.kayfabenews.com, you can find out all the stories, the real legit wrestling stories, of course, including Triple H mortified to see Katie Vick in daughter's Google history. Despite his best efforts to protect his children from the filth of the internet, WWE World Wrestling Entertainment Executive Hunter Hearst Helmsley was mortified to discover today that his 8-year-old daughter has Googled the search term Katie Vick. Oh God, no, muttered Helmsley after seeing his daughter's search history on the laptop in the Helmsley family's Connecticut mansions. Helmsley's daughter, Holly Hannah Hearst Helmsley, or Quadruple H, as her friends call her, apparently searched the term after seeing rumours on Twitter that someone named Katie Vick was going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. The Google search presumably yielded results revealed the grim tale of Vick, a cheerleader from Death Valley who was typically tragically killed in a car accident and, according to some accounts, sexually defiled post-mortem by Kane, who was then a dentistry student. Helmsley is less worried about his daughter learning details about the case than the possibility that she might find video footage of her own reenactment of necrophilia. Lucky for him, WWE seems to have meticulously expunged all evidence of the incident from the World Wide Web. Helmsley is also desperately hoping his children never see what a juvenile frat boy D-bag he was in every single DX segment. So that, ladies and gentlemen... That, ladies and gentlemen...
I'm just sorry. Quadruple H. Quadruple H literally made my headphones fall off. Like, I was laughing so hard, my headphones fell off.
But that's not all, ladies.
That.
That's not all, ladies and gentlemen. We have, if you're ever bored with a Roman Reigns promo, you can basically go to our lovely kayfabenews.com and find 15 adorable puppy photos to look at next time Roman Reigns grabs a microphone. Such as number 1, why would you listen to Roman Reigns when you could rub this little puppy's silky soft ears? Or number 2, this puppy thinks Reigns should have honed his skills on the indie scene for a few years. Number 3, Roman Reigns is on TV, I'll just sit here outdoors. Or number 4, thanks for the lullaby, Roman. Number 5, this puppy plans to hide in a box until his Mizdow segment. Or number 6, the puppy's trying to sneak away from the TV because Roman Reigns is on. He's such a sneaky little darling. It goes all the way to an enjoyable one of my favourites, of course. And I'll tell you what that is it's extremely, extremely hilarious. The puppies have spots, but they deserve their spots, unlike Roman Reigns. It's great. Or the lovely, this puppy enjoys leaves, like when Roman leaves the mic alone.
Puppies are adorable.
Yes. This, ladies and gentlemen, is sponsored by kayfabenews.com, where wrestling's still real to us.
Damn it!
There you go. You got it on time, eventually.
Oh, man. Yeah, Triple H is trying to bury all that DX footage.
I mean, he didn't just act like a crazy frat boy until a DX. I mean, he acted that way up until about 2007.
Yeah.
Up until the last injury that took him out, when he realized that he had to slow up his work rate and he couldn't work, every Raw every night.
A lot of shit to bury.
Yes.
Yep.
Well, let's see. Look, all right. We officially cannot say anything about Triple H burying indie talent, because if anything was proved by Wednesday night's show is that guy knows how to work with the best talent in the world.
Yeah, I have to admit, with Triple H and NXT, he knows. I love the fact with an Austin podcast, it was literally just Vince books everything else, I concentrate on NXT. And a great move, he talked about in the conference call recently, that they're taking the show on the road. I love that idea.
Yes, I am absolutely looking forward to that. And I sent it out last week to any of our listeners that if they get a chance to go see an NXT show, to take that opportunity and report back to us on it, because I want to know what that's like.
Yeah, well,
I'm looking forward to
Mr.
next
Retro
time.
on them himself, Stephen Richards, not Stevie Richards, Stephen Richards, who's
not dancing Stevie Richards of the BWO,
or Big Stevie Cool. He basically went to the show and he said NXT. He went to the pay-per-view, the Takeover event. And he went. The crowd was on fire. You could see it, man. These kids were fucking like they blew 150 people in that audience. They blew the fucking lid off the place. And it's the great.
Well, there's a little bit more than 150 people in that audience.
The great thing about though Full Sail University, and the great thing about these guys, this talent, the roster, is the fact that even the worst talent on NXT is probably better than the best talent in the WWE's main roster at the moment, and a lot of it is because the booking is so tight. It's you can see there's no sloppiness between it, and it's a great thing as well. You had women's title matches on that.
Well, you don't. I mean, I've said this before. I think the one reason why I think the NXT product works so much more efficiently than what's the WWE main roster or what's broadcast every week is because the main roster, they're trying to fill 6 hours of TV time weekly. I think that's what they said they have.
Plus, they're touring constantly as well.
Yeah, they have a lot more. There are a lot more plates to spin, I guess you could say. So not everything. You got to look at it as a baseball statistic. If 30% of the time they're successful, that's a success. That's great.
But also the fact is, if you think about it, is their ideas are fresh. What's going on with Triple H and the NXT roster is it's fresh ideas, fresh approach, and it's not like too time consuming in a sense.
No, it's not, because it's an hour-long product. It's in and out. There's no downtime. Every segment pops. Every segment flows right into the next.
But it also has fresh. It's like the talent's fresh. Everything's fresh, including the booking ideas. And the problem is with the WWE's current product is that it's not fresh. Vince McMahon, the same guy who's been booking it since, the 80s, is still booking it. And that's where the problem lies. Plus, you have writers. A lot of these guys have no business being in the business in the first place. And then you've got too many people flowing ideas. There's only one guy in NXT who's booking everything. That's Triple H. Everybody else, you've got about 20 to 30 different people booking matches. And it needs to be streamlined.
So it's getting lost. It's getting lost.
That's literally it. It's like what Punk said when he had people keep coming up to him. Is like, oh, Punk, we're going to make you look strong, but make sure you make them
too many
look
cooks.
Strong. Yeah,
it's too many cooks.
You're going to win the match, but make sure you make them look strong.
There's one. Yes, as much as Triple H says there's one guy making the decision, there's too many people, I think, adding ingredients.
Yeah. And the term, too many cooks spoil the broth. Exactly. And that's the big thing here, and that's the thing that people have to take away from it. This event, I will say, the NXT Rivals was a better event than the Royal Rumble. I think every match was...
by far.
Yeah.
By fucking miles.
Every match reminded me of the WWE title match. It was just as good as the Lesnar versus Rollins versus Cena. And there was everyone got what they wanted out of it. Even, remember we were talking about
I will say the one negative thing. The one negative thing I can say, like the tag team match had some spots there that weren't quite so crisp. The women's match had some spots in there that weren't as fluid as they really should be. Maybe somebody landed awkwardly. I remember Charlotte sold something to the turnbuckle that looked kind of weird. Just didn't look right.
But it was still something as, in my opinion, as crisp as the WWE title match of the Rumble. Because even the WWE title match of the Rumble didn't have spots that made sense, or had bumps that kind of, you went, oh, really? Why would you do that? But it worked.
Like I said, as a card, it started out with a bang with Tommy and Tyler Breeze. Breeze, I love Tyler Breeze's selfie stick. I like everything they do with that character. Just works for me.
What about the woman that jumped and started?
Yeah, was that real or was that kayfabe? Because that looked like
that had to be kayfabe. Yeah, well, look at it, because he was ready for it. He stayed up, and they kind of kept the camera on her.
Yeah, it was kayfabe.
And they absolutely. It was great though. Some crazy.
Play that back. If we play that back, that might look like. That might be Alexa Bliss. That's what I think that might be.
Yeah.
And that's not a bad thing. She's hot.
Before we continue, I need to get out the way of our Ask Him. So here it is. It's a WrestleMania Ask Him. Who did The Undertaker defeat in WrestleMania 2000? Was it
No Googling people, that's cheating.
The Big Show and The Rock? B, Triple H? Or C, Kane? So make sure.
Are you thinking Google 2000, 2001?
2000. I'm not going to let people know what the title match was in 2000 because I know what it was. Brandon knows what it was. Anyone who's a wrestling enthusiast would know. And if you're paying $9.99, you'll know. So who did The Undertaker defeat at WrestleMania 2000?
It was also the only non-Roman numeral sequenced WrestleMania, by the way, other than the first one.
And it also had the soundtrack California.
Yes, it was also it was the first that had the WrestleMania licensed song to it.
Yep, and the first one that I basically owned on DVD, believe it or not. It was a double disc DVD. Bought it from WH Smith's. Got it for cheap. So there you go, guys. Make sure that you put your answers either on my Facebook page, facebook.com/unlimradio. We're going to do a Slamcast Facebook page soon, depending if it's good or not. May do a Twitter. Put it on Twitter at Michael Burhan, Facebook.com.
Can we do a
Burhan.
Facebook page though, based on what's happening right now?
Oh, with the Facebook crap. We can, but it will be like a...
No, yeah, you could just make... Yeah, I can make
like,
a Facebook page for now. We're just going to come up with a logo and all that other shit.
No, what I'm saying is because they're doing this stupid naming convention thing, aren't they?
No, but you could still create, like, a page for the show. Like,
oh, right, you can create
a fan page for the show.
A like page, yeah.
That's what it is. Yeah. That's what it is, and that's just how we would interact with people. We post the show through there. We could do it. It's just a lot of work and maintain it.
We just don't like social media at the moment. They're being dicks right across the board.
Yeah, I've had a week with social media, and I'm just, the internet in general. But,
so let's continue.
We thought about
talking about the next event.
Yeah, I think we should, because like I said, the match it's absolutely how you want to play a pay-per-view. Started out strong, give the crowd something to. That tag team match was great. I think the Buddy Lee and whatever the guy's name is, Wesley Blake. Did I say it right?
Buddy Murphy, yeah.
All right, Buddy Murphy and Wesley Blake. One of these days, I'll get it right.
Yep.
I got the other guy. I got the other guy right though, Wesley Blake. That was easy.
Yep.
I think these guys are going to get over. Like they have what is the most important thing in any tag team match, in any tag team wrestling. Any tag team should have is fluidity in their moves. Like they have enough moves that are double team maneuvers. That's what pops the crowd. Like the Lucha Dragons got over because they were that high flying Lucha tag team.
Yeah.
These guys get over kind of like the same way LOD got. Like granted they're a little bit more high flying, maybe a little more high energy than LOD.
But they were very smash mouth, weren't they? They were very I would say that they were used to be used as enhancement talent. They were used as enhancement talent before.
I mean, I'm sure they were. They've been around long enough, but I'm glad to see these guys getting their due. Though these guys look like they clearly deserve it. As Jason Albert keeps on putting over on the commentary, he always sees them in the performance center.
Yeah, he's really good on commentary. I have to admit that.
He's grown into it, and so has Corey Graves. Corey Graves is definitely grown into his role as commentary.
Yeah, you don't see any more
I was apprehensive at first.
You don't see any more Alex Riley now, do you? He's kind of disappeared.
No, I think Alex Riley is either being transitioned to be released, or there's a free Riley movement that's going on, or they're going to finally give him his shot. Like he's all ready to go. I think it was health problems that was keeping Riley out of competition.
Not really. They transitioned him because he was going to be the next Matt Striker. He didn't have any issues or anything to keep him out of competition. It was just more the fact they didn't have anything for him, which is a shame because I always saw him as a kind of a talent that could go somewhere if he had the proper story.
He was a terrific athlete. I mean, this guy was a 5-time bowl winner in college. He played quarterback too, which is an incredibly hard position to play at the Division 1A level of college. So, his athletic skills known about. It just he couldn't get over it. I think he was saddled with being the Miz's guy. Like, had they not put him with the Miz to try and get him over, he would have gotten way more over. But I think that whole run, he inevitably bears the whole stigma of being with that whole run of bad wrestling.
Well, he
bad
wasn't
creative.
He had a good run against.
It's not his fault.
He had a good run against the Miz, but then they kind of killed it.
Once that fizzled out, there was nothing there for him. What else?
Which was a shame. Let's talk about the.
Can I talk about the Tyler Breeze fight?
Yes, please, because I love Tyler Breeze too. So I want to.
I do too. I think he's fucking amazing.
I just think the end of that fight was absolutely fantastic. Just absolute sheer punishment, Like there was, it was a brilliant match, brilliant displays of, athleticism and, wrestling skill, but it just at the end of it just turned into a basic out-and-out kicky brawl, and I loved it.
I mean, it made Tyler Breeze look much stronger than anybody else has ever made him look before.
Another GTS tease.
Yes, I was going to absolutely say that. They're going to keep doing that because they know people are going to fucking snap when he finally does hit it. So they're going to keep taking that for as long as possible.
Yeah, they're gonna save.
Here's what I heard. You heard the same thing.
Go ahead.
They're gonna save it. He's gonna save it for when they inevitably turn him on, put him against Finn Balor.
I was actually gonna say they're gonna save it for if they end up putting him for the NXT title down the road, or is that gonna end up being too long? Because this, you can see Zayn and Owens going for a good 6 months to a year. Honestly. But yeah, they might turn him on. I think that'd be better. They turn him on Baylor, and that's when he hits it.
Yeah, I think. I definitely think Owens and Zayn is going. We haven't seen the last of that.
What's the deal with the injury at the end, though?
They just posted it. It's all part of the gimmick, brother. It's all part of the gimmick. Don't worry. Don't worry. It's all part of the gimmick.
Because I wasn't aware whether it was long-standing or just, a result of what he did. And the way it happened.
No. That was the match. That was the match.
Yep.
That was how the finish was supposed to go down, as they say in the business. No, because WWE just released on their Instagram account that Zayn is on the Abu Dhabi tour, and he is just scheduled to compete 24 hours after
receiving a concussion sort of injury.
Yes.
Yeah,
definitely receiving the beating of a lifetime.
But you know what? I love that match, and let's go from match to match. Firstly, so we
All
had
right.
Atami versus.
But here's what I said:
Tyler
like Atami made Breeze look stronger than any opponent Breeze has ever stepped in the ring with.
Did he look
And
stronger than Roman Reigns?
He made him look strong. I'm not saying he made him look stronger than Roman Reigns. He made him look strong.
Yeah, but that's because he did that whole smash mouth kind of attack, didn't he? Like
they were definitely having a strong style match. There's a lot of kicking.
Yep.
Very Japan orientated, I would say.
Yeah, and I mean, I like the fact that they made it a good. They clearly were going to put Atami over, but they made Tyler Breeze look as strong as possible. He gave him every bit of his finishing moves. The fighting spirit. That's what's gonna push this Kenta character. It's gonna be fighting spirit. You're gonna hear it over and over again.
He looked like a main eventer, which was the big thing.
I think all of these matches on this card at some point in time could have main evented a regular NXT show.
But it looked really, really well done. The fact that match you had Atami win with the did he win with the GTS if I believe, or was it?
No, with the
running knee.
It was more like a kick, not like the knee.
Yeah.
Well, that's what the last like bloody 40 odd seconds of that fight was just him constantly kicking and pummeling.
Yeah, because it was more. It was more one of those.
So Dave liked me. Dave loves the strong style.
Yeah, the strong style works really well.
I like a good old-fashioned brawl.
Did you know when I was gonna attempt to make my return to the ring, I was gonna actually use the strong style because I think it's more demanding, but it looks so good. You look like you're beating the fucking shit out of one another. And
then I guess you're putting your body out there for more injuries.
Yep.
Yeah, but it's good for one match. That's why I was going to do it for one match. Because I couldn't.
I thought you were going to go to the New Japan Jojo and sleep on the floor and clean toilets. And
no. My whole thing is like
Gaijin.
I used to. My style used to be very sort of high flying, which I changed when I got injured to mat based. But to come back, I think it would have to be. I would have to do strong style kind of match just once though, because my ankle, which at the moment is killing me, would not be able to hold up for a tour of that sort of shit.
Yeah, but in your ankle's defence, or in your defence, sorry, your ankle might be killing you because you decided to explore as much of London as you can on foot.
Yeah, which was fun. As people don't know, I've been doing a fucking shitload of cardio for the last 2 weeks. I mean, the amount of cardio I've done, most people probably haven't done in their lifetime, which I've done in 2 weeks. I've had ambulance technicians look at me and go, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Were they following you around ever so slightly slowly?
No, they were taking my brother into hospital, and they were like, "Oh, so have you got a car?" And I was like, "No, I walked here." They're like, "Where did you walk from?" I was like, "Victoria." The guy just looked at me and went, "You must be really healthy." Like, yeah, kind of. Yeah, I am pretty much really healthy. By the way, Lee McCutcheon won this week's Ask Him, which was WrestleMania 2000. The Undertaker did not compete. So there you go.
Trick question.
Yes.
Got you. He got you.
I got you. Chris Jester said basically he thought it was 200 because I accidentally forgot a zero. And he was wrestling, and apparently, according to Paul Bearer, he was wrestling in Japan at the time. So there you go.
I'm sure the Greeks were wrestling in the year 200.
I'm part Greek, so it's in my blood.
He's talking about WrestleMania 200, so this would be in the year.
Yeah, Lee McCutcheon goes as well. It wasn't. There's a typo. It wasn't the Undertaker. It was Hardcore Holly, and the answer was Crash. No, Lee. It was the Undertaker. It was a trick question. Undertaker did not compete WrestleMania 2000. So tune in next week for another Ask Him. So we'll be back with that then.
I actually want to know who the Undertaker would compete at WrestleMania 200 in the year 2183 or 2184.
Do you think it'll be Bray Wyatt again?
The reanimated Cyber Bray Wyatt against Robo Undertaker.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's go back onto the NXT rival. So we had that match, and then we went into the tag team match, wasn't it?
Holla, play
Yeah,
it.
the tag team match was a tag team match. Play it was pretty good. Play it. You know, these two Aussies guys definitely made an impression.
The Lucha Dragons did really well. You know, Sin Cara and what was the other guy's name?
Kalisto.
Kalisto, the one they were going to put as the gay fish. Yeah, he was great.
Yeah.
Kanye West reference.
Hairdresser.
Do you think
He was a
we should-
hairdresser.
Do you think we should have that Kanye West picture on the video, just so that we
Motherfucking gay.
could gay fish? So yeah, they
Kind of a
competed.
Kanye West overexposure right now.
Again, it was a great match. It was enjoying. You know, it was one of those matches that was extremely enjoyable, very quick paced, especially on the fact that, as we said, the other team was rather an enhancement talent previously. I'm not 100% into them. I think they're kind of cookie cutter, but they have a chance.
No, they're definitely some white meat baby faces, but
Yeah.
you know they have talent in the ring. Like,
Yeah.
That's
They have a
can't
chance to
mistake
kind
that.
of get over. You know. They have a
yeah,
chance
and
to
they can get over based purely off talent alone. I mean, it's gonna be a question to see. I've never heard these guys on the microphone before, so you know that's
Yeah.
only gonna get them so far. But
Well, I've seen.
as long as these guys keep working great matches,
Yeah.
they should keep. The
Well,
stock
on
keeps
NXT,
rising.
they cut a couple of promos on there, and they weren't really great. I think they will need to. I think what's going to set them apart is the same way that the Dudleys and kind of Edge and Christian and the Hardys got over, which was in the ring. You know, they've got to be spectacular in the ring in order to get them over. So hopefully, that's what's going to happen. Anybody else want to?
Yeah, but the problem with that is there's really only one other tag team right now in the NXT.
Yeah.
Okay, there's 3 tag teams in the NXT tag team title picture: the Vaudevillains, the Lucha Dragons, and Blake and Murphy.
Well, I think the Lucha Dragons are going to be called up to the main roster eventually. Well, Sin Cara's already on the main roster, but they'll probably call up his partner.
There's only 2 tag teams in the NXT main event tag teams.
Yeah, but I think they will eventually start putting together new teams. I don't see why not. I don't see why they can't. You know, NXT can't bring more talent in to kind of spend time in that roster. So watch this space. I've got a funny feeling that we may see like Hitami and Balor win those championships at some point, because I don't think Finn Balor will win the NXT title yet. Neither will Hitami. I think we're going to have a nice Zayn versus Owens kind of situation happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
We'll talk about that in a bit.
We will
of
talk
course.
about that.
Now let's move on from the tag team title match. Dave, did you like this match?
I did. I thought it was very solid, very entertaining, very enjoyable, and the fact that I could watch it was also a bonus.
Yeah, pretty much that as well.
So, I just got to say, the thing is, and I guess you're right when you say, coming back to you, like the strong thing, which is, I got to say, I just want more brawling people.
Yeah, well,
Just want
speaking of brawling, we went to the next match on
You
the
got it.
card.
You got it, sir.
The next match on the card was our number 1 contendership match, which was Finn Balor versus Adrian Neville, and my
No, it
God, there was
No,
a
it wasn't.
party in my pants watching it.
Well,
I
that
have
wasn't the
never-
next match. The next match on the card was Dempsey versus
Yes, this one was kind of
Baron Corbin.
Yeah, this one was. I can understand the reason why Corbin was made to look like strong in a sense.
What?
You
Why?
tell-
You can see why they're strapping the rocket ship to this guy. Like I said,
Yeah,
right? Like, this guy has the look, and he looked like he's learning.
Yeah, he's not the kind of guy that you think would be technically sound in the ring yet. They're kind of pushing him as a dominant kind of monster face, which is fine. I love Bull Dempsey though.
I mean, look, I've seen.
He reminds me a lot
close.
of the the King Kong Bundy-esque type characters.
Yes, I mean no. He's a straight no frills. There's no frills to Bull Dempsey.
Yeah.
He's pretty much worked through the same matches. Trust me, man. I've seen it. I've seen it up close and personal. I've interacted with the guy before. He is, all business. Doesn't really say much in the locker room. Good guy though. Keeps to himself. But he's all business in that ring. He's the epitome of a professional. Doesn't say anything bad about anybody, but just keeps to his
own.
Keeps to his own. Yeah, but
I have a question about no disqualification matches.
Yes, sir.
Right, so obviously you have this amazing team of medics and stuff like that keep these wrestlers in brilliant shape because they're basically what makes the WWE their money. So how come they brush all that aside for a no disqualification match and allow them to literally beat the shit out of each other with chairs and throw them out of the ring onto steel plates? Because that can't be good for you.
Yeah, but the thing is, you got the medics on call.
Look good. Don't get me wrong. I really enjoyed that bit, but
the medics are on call, and you've also got the fact that these guys.
Because when he plated him, that sounded terrible. He really didn't look like that was put on. That was like, ooh, that's going to leave a mark. It's going to leave several steel marks.
I mean, it's a gimmick. Some say it's gimmicked.
Yeah, of course it's gimmicked.
It's not actually as hard as it actually is.
Yeah, but still look at the distance.
Yes, it's still hitting him with it. Yes, but it's not a regulation chair. You can sit in that chair, but the chair is meant to take that hit and fold.
Oh no, I was talking about when he got trapped out the ring onto the plate.
Oh yeah, no,
because that's got to fucking hurt.
That's not gimmick. That hurts you a little bit. That definitely leaves marks. That's for sure.
And it wasn't the only match that happened in as well, which was epic.
No, but like I said, if anybody, I said this last week, if anybody was gonna make not Corey Graves, Baron Corbin look like a reputable talent, it was my man. I almost called Smith James.
The ring stuff was just absolutely brutally entertaining.
Yeah. I mean, he's an absolute general in the ring, I would say.
But do you like your face? Well, this post likes it a lot more. Boom!
Yeah, again, this is going to be an interesting
feud. On the
feud
unpadded side.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting feud, and it's definitely going to put Baron Corbin in a lot of up in a lot of people's minds. It's definitely going to be used to make him look like a star. I hope my friend gets the same bump from it, but
Baron Corbin to me just looks like proper old school,
Yeah, he's like he would be someone in the same.
He's a
vein
I
as
don't want this to sound like an insult to him. I don't mean it that way. I mean it's a compliment. But he's a throwback wrestler, if that makes sense.
He is. He's kind of someone
you mean
in
Dempsey?
the same.
You mean Dempsey's a throwback?
Yeah. Sorry.
But Corbin's kind of someone in the similar vein to like the Undertaker. He's a big guy. He's a classic big guy.
Yeah, I think that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to make it Conor Goldberg this like imposing threat, seem to be taken down, and it's good. They're going to build it the right way. I think could be what Goldberg should have been. Like they're not going to push him all the way to the moon yet. They're going to steadily slow build it, let this guy build experience to when, he has all these tools that he needs to be a guy that's going to be something that they could invest serious programming time to. They'll pull that trigger. But, not this year, I think. I think this year is going to be the slow build towards that.
It's going to be a next year, isn't it?
Yeah, next year will be the year of Baron Corbin. Like, Baron Corbin has spent the last year running through everybody in NXT roster has thrown through. Now,
yeah, he'll be the guy that eventually you'll see have the tag team titles on him with someone. You know what? I wouldn't be surprised.
Or if they're gonna, or like I've been saying, they should do this. They need to make a secondary NXT title, something for this massive.
Or just take the Intercontinental or United States Championship and bring it down to NXT.
You think so? I mean,
Yeah.
you think that is the answer? I mean, no, I don't think that's the answer. I think you can make another NXT title, make like, I don't know, the internet title, with matches only online, some sort of gimmicky title, like,
Why?
or
Why not? Why not use the US title?
a junior. A lot of these guys are under a certain weight class, so maybe if they want to bring in the junior heavyweight division,
Or,
there you go.
why don't you bring back one of WWE's classic titles, like one of the ones that they basically discontinued, like the European Championship?
But I mean, you can't really have a European Championship on defended on a show that's largely taped in Florida.
Why?
I don't know. The European Championship at least was incepted on the European tour.
Yeah, but
And then it was
they could
defended.
reactivate the title. Look, this is a title that Mideon got given because he needed
I
a
know.
belt
I know.
to hold up his pants.
I know.
Okay, come on. This title,
Okay.
you could give it some
No, I know the
prominence.
prestigiousness. I know. Let's laud the prestigiousness of the European title. Such
I
great
I
champions.
love the Florida Championship Wrestling. What was it called? The SJ15 title, I think it was called the Junior 15 or something like that.
Super Junior 15 or something.
He was like
Yeah,
the
like I
mid-card
said,
title.
something. Like I said, they're gonna need something. For
Super
this-
Junior 15 sounds like some sort of combo meal deal.
But it was
Dude, you
it was
should
something.
like. Japan has every year they have the same tournament called the G1 Climax. I mean, like,
Yep.
it's
Sounds like a gay
awesome
porn
name.
film.
It sounds like an awesome. It sounds like an awesome name for a pay-per-view. G1 Climax. Anyway,
It's one letter away from sounding like a political convention for global warming. The G1 climate.
So
anyway,
yeah, so we go on from
this
that
match
one.
was good. This match was good, and like I said, this should be. I hope this rivalry isn't the end. I'd like to see this rivalry continue.
Yeah, but based on the response from the audience at the time, they must be looking at this, rubbing their hands and thinking, we've got a rivalry now that we can, we've basically put
They
out the
have
party.
somebody. Yeah, they have somebody to work with this young talent that can show him the way and teach him a little something. So, Baron Corbin's gonna learn this industry good from a true brother, true good brother.
So yeah, we've finished with that one, and then we went on to the Balor versus Neville match for number one contendership. Now, for me,
Yeah.
this was one of my favorite matches of the night.
See, this is where it goes into just the next, everything after this was like match of the year candidate, in my opinion. Or it's
Yeah.
it's like each match one upping each other. Like, okay, those guys had a pretty good match, but it wasn't the match of the night. So every match of this night topped it because, after Tommy and Tyler Breeze set the bar pretty high, so that was the match of the night. From that, those other two matches didn't cross it. Now everything after here was just okay, top that, and then it was topped. I mean, everything from the man's entrance to just the back and forth between the two of them. If that match doesn't do anything for you, you should not be watching wrestling. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's the presentation, the fact that everything of this match smelled main event caliber. Neville sort of performed and went toe to toe with Balor. Balor gave us all in this match. These guys left it all in the ring, and my God.
But it was just the quality of the match, just like the level of moves and shit in it. They were just.
By the way, Mr. Richards himself, Mr. Retron, has given his. He wants to let everybody know that he says hi from Florida.
Oh, I mean, why doesn't he come on the show? He was actually there. That would be a fucking awesome thing to fucking say. Somebody who was actually there to talk about it.
Yeah,
Why did we
I'm
talk
sorry.
about this beforehand? Why am I just having this fucking brainwave now?
I think he can. He's
If
with
he
the
wants.
family at the moment,
If he
so
wants.
he'll probably have to give us these details next week. So we'll
All
try
right,
and
then
get him on the
don't
show
worry
next
about it.
week.
Don't worry about it. It's not that big of a deal.
But yeah, so this match, it's very fast paced, very smash mouth. It had again, you could see the Japanese strong style versus the American kind of lucha style. It brought out amazing caliber wrestling. It was.
That's what I meant, yeah, about
Yeah.
the quality of the moves and shit. And plus, also, they also kept that kind of gut war level in it, like when he does the fucking double leg jump kick outside the ring and blasts into the barricade. My brain was just went, yes, that better fucking leave a mark.
Yeah, it was. Oh my god, it pulled it off, and now go from that. Is there anything you want to say about it, Nick?
I thought the match was done with that double foot stomp to the back of the head.
Yeah. Oh my.
That was
God.
several times where I thought, once that match was like at least 20 good minutes. So anything in that last 5 minutes of the match, I thought was just gonna go, and it kept on going after false. They just kept on each other with move after move after move, and yeah, it was back and forth. Like I didn't know where it was gonna be. Like I had my thoughts. I thought, okay, definitely this is Finn's time to rise. But then I'm thinking, oh well, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe they don't want it. Maybe they didn't want to give it to this guy. Maybe it is too soon. Maybe we are going to see a 2-time NXT champion. It was something to watch. It was a spectacle to behold. I want to see another one. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, I would love to see Neville versus Bella too.
Neville wants to say, all right, Finn, I don't expect to get a #1 contendership. That's sorry, my terrible Newcastle accent, but I'm gonna keep going with it. But I just want to get my revenge.
And then you have.
Now you've turned into groundskeeper Willie.
I ate the poonie left on the floor. You heard me.
Where the hell is that? I don't care.
I said make way for Willie.
Neville.
Oh man.
I'll hit you with a red arrow. Sorry.
I just love Finn Balor's entrance.
Next week we'll have Mr. X Random on the show. So
star.
Yeah, it does.
The entrance was just literally, hey everyone, want something to get behind and go batshit crazy? Here it is, bitches.
Yeah,
I love how he has everything timed out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, everything timed out. I think right now they're just sticking with the kind of Carnage looking thing, quasi. I calls it the hybrid between Carnage and Venom. But I like how he has everything timed out in his entrance now. Does the little stutter step, and then he poses right before the crescendo of the music, and then he does it again, and then he poses again.
Ballet goodness.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
so I
can imagine what this guy is gonna do with a WrestleMania entrance.
Oh my god!
Imagine
in 3D, so lots of people's heads explode.
Imagine he's gonna come out I don't know, an amorphous blob, and then jump out of it or something. They'll come up with some weird shit. If they're gonna make Triple H the Skull King,
or silver, and they should CG him up, and then he should just go.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. There, he was in Japan. He was famous for taking a lot of famous pop culture things. One time he came out as Bane. A couple times he's come out as Venom, Carnage. Did he do a Hulk one? I think once. Multiple Jokers. So he's definitely adapted multiple things from pop culture in his face paint styles. I don't think the WWE will let him do that because I think they would think that those people that own those properties would try to sue them because.
Yeah.
But who knows? We'll see.
I
would like to see that. I mean, Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio was able to do that, so Go ahead, Nick.
And what
maybe they could just have a quiet word with Marvel because it's in both their interests, isn't it? Promotion for both parties.
Yeah, but I think you'll never see Disney work with WWE in that capacity. Plus, WWE likes to copyright things themselves. That's why they never said anything about Venom and Carnage on there. And I think they're selling T-shirts based on that kind of freaky monster thing that they've done with them.
So they never work with Disney.
Yeah, I think
never
that's
get
going to be his thing.
Because that would be epic.
No. But, I like this red and black thing that he comes out with. I mean, I don't know what the thing with the headgear is. The headgear's kind of weird, the weird part to me, but he makes it work, He looks like he just basically has a bunch of his, old ties. And random pieces of tassels and stuff like that. And then put it on a helmet, and then let's go.
Maybe he's just very green and
imagine,
Well, I think
imagine they turn him heel. how different. Like it was a little bit different than the last takeover. The body paint, you could still tell the exact design, but it was varied a little bit. Imagine if they turned him heel.
It was very goth in a sense, very goth, very monstrous. He's got a great upside as well. He can cut promos. He's very well rounded in the ring, and he can work any style. He like the Japanese strong style. He can work the lucha style. He can work like the European style. He can work the submission style. He can even work like the American style, and he's adjusting very well to the WWE style as we speak. So again, a very top talent there. Neville, aka Puck, from this side of the woods. Great talent as well. So going from that match, we then go to a amazing Divas match.
Capital A. Actually, you can capitalize all the letters in amazing.
Oh, you know what? If sexy meant that a match would be high quality, this match, I believe, for me, and people are going to hate me or probably disagree with me on this, every match in the Divas match in the Attitude Era onwards that people say were great wrestling talent have never seen this. These girls worked their fucking gorgeous asses off. And I mean that. You had Charlotte versus Bayley versus the boss herself, Sasha Banks, versus what's the other one's name? The Irish girl, Becky Lynch. Oh, mate, I would like her to throw me around. My God.
Well, here's one thing we can take away from this. Okay. Yeah. Bayley has already been pretty much cemented as a crowd favorite. Her stock only grows. Sasha Banks is now the boss. I think we could cross that. Now, the one thing we can say to that is Becky Lynch is now been made from that. She has gone from, she was the real unknown of this because she was the the unproven commodity. She's the one that had been on the roster.
Wasn't it Albert who said, "What has she done to deserve a title match?"
Yeah, well, now she proves that she belonged to be in there.
Yeah.
And, at times it was actually plausible where she was looking like she was going to win it. And, look, if you have anything bad to say about women's wrestling, watch that match, and if you tell me...
I was actually generally going for it at one point, thinking she really was going to win it.
I couldn't
tell who the winner was going to be here. Bayley was the emotional favorite that night, and I think it was obvious to tell that, people wanted that to happen, and they're definitely gonna pause that moment for as long as possible. Can you imagine Bayley wins the NXT Women's title at WrestleMania or something like that? Like, imagine how long that girl would cry. Can you imagine the moment she would have? That would be the female Shawn Michaels moment. She would get down in the ring, break down, cry.
And then lose her smile, and then disappear for like 3 to 4 months, and then come back again.
I would hope not.
And then have Bret Hart saying that she was beaten by 4 Jewish boys.
No, it would be Charlotte then, because she's the only one that has.
By the way, there's one question I had about Charlotte. Was she the one taking photos when it was Flair versus McMahon at WrestleMania? Was it WrestleMania? Or was it Backlash?
Was that her?
I don't think so, because she was. That was.
Because I know she's a lot older than most of the WWE's current divas.
She was actually the oldest one in that match because she got the latest start, but no, I don't think she was. I don't think so. I think she was still in the
great ring out as well. Though. That's one thing else I want to quickly add up.
She looked alike from the young lady who was taking photos, so I was just wondering. And you had his son Reed was there with him.
I'll have to go back and watch that, but I don't remember off the top of my head. So.
Well, it was a great match. It was him versus Vince, and they beat the living crap out of each other. But yeah, this match...
So Ric Flair had a great match? No, you don't say.
Ric Flair can have a great match with a Coke can. And for those of you who don't... If you've never seen Ric Flair fucking leg drop and arm drop a Coke can, you haven't lived. Seriously.
You haven't seen... almost turned on my own camera. People can see how dirty my apartment was. If you haven't seen Ric Flair elbow drop a piece of his own clothing...
Yeah, then you haven't lived.
You haven't lived.
You haven't lived. But that's the thing here. You got like Charlotte. She is more than ready to be called up to the main roster. She's talented.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. Like, I want to know what that hug/push was. Was that meant to continue their little feud, or was that to pause on it, and I'll get you when you're coming back on the main roster? because Sasha Banks definitely proved she belongs. Too. I mean, I don't think that was ever any doubt.
Is Sasha Banks a grassroots one? Is she one that started in?
She's an indie. She's been in the indies. She had to work, those women's only promotions, and I think I've told you about how nefariously creepy women's only promotions can be.
Well, including was she like a foot model?
Did I tell you?
Stuff?
Well, no. Definitely a lot of all male fans, but as a very good promoter friend. Had said, I won't going to mention him by name, but I have mentioned him by name before, but I won't attribute this particular quote to him. Said that he used to book these all women's only promotions, and he said if he could get away with it, he would have made a killing selling like personal stations to separate the crowd from each other, so guys could like tug it in the private. He would have made money. He could have made money.
There are promotions that do it. There are promotions that basically have that aspect. Do you know women's extreme wrestling? Have you ever heard of that?
Yeah, no, I've heard all about it, man.
Cleaners at that event.
A lot of female talent have come from there.
I mean, it's like if you're a female talent,
a lot of other stuff came from there as well. Sorry.
If you work those all-female promotions and stuff like that, it's just like I think it's just something you're used to dealing with, having creepy male fans that are like
now
gonna be attracted to each other. You have to deal with the guys that are offering you that want to do private matches, like come over to my house and watch and wrestle this girl on this thing, while I sit here and watch you and stroke it.
Craft the beast.
Like that's really like I would say this. Even a very good friend of mine, male, has worked private matches before in his house, and I was just like, bro, really? He's like, yeah, but I got paid. I'm like, all right.
That makes you
good on you, but yeah, that was kind of weird. That would kind of weird me out superly, especially because my friend has looks like a guy, like he could be a male stripper, so yeah. And it was for a man. Yeah.
So go from that.
I mean, every match, every spot.
Yeah, go on.
Go for it, Nick.
Well, what I was going to say is it actually makes more sense to have Bayley win the title off of Sasha as opposed to Charlotte, because Charlotte is more kind of tweener, kind of face, kind of not. Sasha is full blown fucking.
Well, the thing is, Charlotte, I think we're going to probably see her do a couple more matches, but then she'll get called up to the main roster. I think it's time.
I think she's ready now. I really think that's what that push was. I think that was just like they hugged it out. They're like, that was the last time we're ever going to work together for a while. Like they came up together. Sasha Banks, I mean, brought Charlotte Flair into kayfabe wise into the company. So that was the first person she really worked with. They had a moment. They hugged it out. They pushed. They shoved off. She kind of had that look, and she walked out with the title victorious. Sasha put in the work.
Yeah, it was kind of like a passing of the.
Yeah, exactly. It was respect, but like, all right, I'll see you at the next level because that's where I'm going, and you're gonna get there too eventually.
Exactly. So that was great.
That dive that Sasha did was.
My God.
Like,
yeah.
Those women took risks. Bayley even did it too. Like they put everything out there, and I think they put the rest of the Divas division, both in WWE and the NXT, on notice.
Well, pretty much all of them slammed the plate as well. That was my favorite bit.
Yeah, I mean they upped the bar as far as Divas matches. I mean, what's Nikki Bella and Paige are gonna have a hard time topping that.
Yeah.
Sorry, Paige is gonna have a hard time. Paige is going to have a hard time practically carrying Nikki Bella through that match.
I agree with you on that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, Charlotte going up to the women's division, it needs more talent. As far as I'm concerned, I'm watching the Bellas versus the World. It's kind of
It's kind of bland and boring. So that's why I think it's time to, AJ's not coming back. It looks like. You need to put some new blood in the Divas division. Paige was enough, but right now you have Paige, Natty, Naomi, Alicia Fox.
Yep.
So Summer Rae even wrestlers. Summer Rae just there to look pretty.
Pretty much.
Summer Rae I think is there. Summer Rae's there to look pretty.
But she can wrestle. That's what really bugs me.
She can wrestle okay.
Well, she needs to. It needs to get. It's got to get a lot better.
What they need to do is, here's the thing, is they already did the best women's gimmick ever, which is when they put two divas that had just like that unique charisma, and they put them together, and they were just mean girls. And that's what Lay Cool was, and that's why I loved Lay Cool so much. Like, that was the best women's gimmick ever, in my opinion, other than Mae Young giving birth to a hand. But that's another story. But the best in-ring, on-screen, female angle was Lay Cool. Absolutely.
Yeah, because they were those two girls like you can see in high school that were just stuck up.
Yeah, they were the beautiful girls that were bitches. Exactly. And I think that's what they need to do. But just not like, hopefully, and just do that and hope no one realizes it. I guess. But we'll see. We shall see. But definitely Charlotte shows that she's ready, and yeah.
Yeah, definitely ready.
It's gonna be. I think because the fans, like, Bayley has suffered from this. Any other time, if the fans weren't still behind Bayley, they would have given her the title, I think. But I think it's because the fans get behind her so much, they're gonna keep having her lose and lose and lose
she's gonna
all
be
these
like
big matches.
She's gonna be the Tommy Dreamer.
She's gonna be we said it last week on the show. Bayley reminds us a lot of a female Tommy Dreamer. Like, she's gonna work great matches. She's gonna have great feuds.
The one person that I'm looking forward to, and I think is going to have a huge upside, is Becky Lynch. I think she's sexy, she's powerful, and she looks like she does not give a fuck. She's like she's everything Sheamus should have been.
She's like a female Sheamus. She's like a female Sheamus. She works kind of like
shitty, the shitty promos.
I wasn't going to say anything about that, but I was comparing her ring style. She does work a very physical style. She does take a lot of risks in her offense. And who doesn't love a hot rockin' ginger chick?
As far as I'm concerned, she's the one for me to watch. And
yeah.
She makes me want to get in touch with my Irish roots.
Exactly. I was just saying, if I hadn't already sworn my mortal soul to Paige, I would be all over that.
Yeah, sorry, dude. I call dibs. You can't.
Creepy Paige moment of the week. #road to.
Well, I can outclass your creepy Paige moment. When it comes to Paige, I'll happily take sloppy seconds.
But I'm sure. Yeah.
By the way, I just bought the
I was gonna
greatest
say
T-shirt ever from the WWE Eurozone store.
What's that?
Zombie Hulk Hogan saying, "Hulk Hogan, eat your brains out, brother."
Oh, God.
No, I want to get the Hulk Hogan "We Coming for You" nigga T-shirt.
Yes.
Thank you, Booker T. Anyway, going off from that, again, high quality match. You've seen there was a lot of really physical. Watching Becky Lynch throw Sasha Banks around like a fucking ragdoll.
When they threw her into the LED board and they broke the LED board.
Yeah, or the double arm suplex that she did.
All 130 pounds of Sasha Banks, or however much she weighs, was just like flung into that thing, and that thing went out. They don't do that. Like, I'm surprised they haven't done that spot enough, because they have that LED board around the ring and like throw some people into it. I like how it like flashed a few times before it shut off. Like that made that move seem more like it.
I demand they do it like a bit Superman 2 when he throws it for the Coca-Cola billboard. They could do that. They could do that for WWE.
Wasn't that electrocutor?
But you know what the great thing about it is? This match was not like most people would consider a Divas match a piss break. I would.
Well, this was not a piss break.
I think that's unfair. I mean, I know this one was brilliant, but I think that's kind of a bit unfair.
No,
I can think of another break a bloke might use it, but we've already kind of covered that.
But that's exactly what they would call it. They would literally call it that.
So what basically what we in England like to call a kettle break. Go make yourself a cup of tea.
Yeah,
It's
pretty
the
much.
commercials.
Pretty much. You know,
I think this has probably changed that to quite some degree. Whether they get that same level of action going in the main sort of, diva like division, because quite possibly they should. Because I think this was at least on my mind, I know you've touched upon it, was far more exciting than the shit we've seen in that recently.
But that's literally what it was, and it was a great great match. It was. I thought it was a great segue to the world title match. It really kept the crowd pumped.
I mean, usually the Divas match is supposed to be a cool down for the crowd. You know, that kept that crowd going, and I was afraid, that the crowd was going to be dead by the time Owens and Zayn.
Does this come back to Triple H again though, which is he knows how to run this slightly more because it's just him.
I just think because it's a shorter show. And they condense everything in that the crowd really only has that hour reaction.
Yeah.
So just
because he's also
straight,
it's
boom,
his
boom,
product.
boom.
It's not his product, but it's his baby. He's in charge of it. So he's obviously thinking, well, why not have this as strong as any other match?
When you're trying to book a 3-hour show is completely different than booking a 1-hour show.
But the
booking
fact
a 1-hour
is,
show, you want to get your.
It wasn't just that though; it's the
say?
talent as well. The talent made that show shine. Now,
yes, the talent helped, but because the fact that he's booking a shorter show, it helps. He has that advantage. I think if NXT was 3 hours, we would have some complaints. There would be some people. Look, if NXT was 3 hours, we'd be stuck with more Mojo Rawley, and I don't know. Name me some people on NXT that I just can't. Mojo Rawley, and Mojo
CJ
Rawley.
Parker.
I like CJ Parker's gimmick. I mean, CJ Parker's gimmick, I've said this before, is like he's the IRS principal. He tells you something you should be doing, and you boo him.
Okay, so
pay your taxes, take care of the environment, and you boo him.
Going on that, let's go on to the main event and talk about this. This main event.
Yes, let us.
My
This was.
God.
Here's what I loved about this match. Before the match even had, and this is why again, the NXT crowd, Triple H, the fact that anybody calls Triple H tried to bury indie talents, and the fact that he put this match on his pay-per-view main event, people were chanting "Final Battle."
Talk very, very slow. Talk like because I've got to go for a slash, but I don't want to miss any of this. So slow yourselves down 1/3, people.
Yeah, it literally was. People were talking Final Battle with these two. People were screaming "Ole, ole, ole, ole!"
And I love that. It got the two of them to break before the match even started. They were just they both had that smile. They're just okay, this is really happening. They're chanting final. Here we are in a WWE ring, wrestling for a WWE title, not the WWE, a WWE title, and they're chanting "Final Battle, ole, 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 fight Steen, fight." They're all right, we're definitely here. We've definitely made it. This is what we talked about when we got into wrestling. This moment is finally happening. And the camera kind of caught a really good moment between the two of them. Right before the match started, they just looked at each other. Zayn has this big smile on his face and goes, "All right, let's go." And then they went right at it. And boy, did they ever go right at it. And I think that was probably the lone bright spot in Sami Zayn's offensive night because he did nothing but take punishment upon punishment upon punishment. And I mean, he had his fought back moments, but wow, that was a match. Just the way that match climaxed.
This made Cena Lesnar look like a pile of puke.
Yeah, it made Cena Lesnar look like a fair fight. That's what it did.
Yeah. This match.
It had been a long time since somebody in the WWE had been beating up that match. I mean, when was the last time they went with the incapacitation ending? I hadn't seen that in a regular match. Jesus Christ, I can't even remember when.
That's
the only time I've seen a title change that controversial was with Christian versus Randy Orton. And that's when he won by disqualification.
Yeah.
But isn't this clearly... I don't know what I missed. Because that's right, ladies. I didn't use talking about the ladies section of this podcast to go for a piss. Look at me. No, but isn't this clearly... It's setting up something else, isn't it? It's setting it up. To end it deliberately that way is it's queuing up or lining up another event between these people.
Yeah, what it did, it told a story in the ring, and this is for loads of people out there who don't understand. In the ring, between these two,
Psychology, exactly. This was an education in psychology. Look at the faces on everybody's on the first 5 rows of people.
yeah,
And they kept on showing shots of these 2 young girls that were sitting in like the first 2 rows. And I don't know if they were plants or I don't know if they were genuine
They were
fans,
shocked.
but they looked like they had just seen somebody beaten half to death.
yeah.
And
They looked like they were going to see a normal, like, oh, this is a WWE match. Oh my fucking god, he's killing him.
yeah, like those guys, they weren't expecting those guys to work as strong, as stiff as they did, because you heard some of the clotheslines Kevin was giving.
You could. That's my
Like-
thing. I was going to say. And I know I was that bloke right at the start of being on this podcast that was skeptical, but yeah, my brain was just going. It sounds like Rocky's beating the crap out of a fucking piece of meat. You could just hear slap after slap after slap, and I'm not going to lie, I really enjoyed it. That sounded terrible, but you know what I mean.
And Zayn sold everything perfectly. Like, I mean, I think he practically jumped out of his boots at one point tonight.
Yeah, and the
Just-
whole when he like took that dive onto the fucking.
Oh
steel.
yes, the way he dove over Drake Wirtz. He
Yes.
over him. I mean, that's 3 guys that trust each other a lot. Like, I mean, look, I've been in a referee for a long time. I don't know if I let somebody jump over my back. It would have to be one of my very good friends that I would know for a while. Like, no guy that I
Can't help
meet
but
just that day.
I actually thought to myself in my head when that bit happened. I mimed that line from Peter Pan. Wendy, I can fly. Brilliant.
He could fly, man. And he flew. He did. I mean, yeah, granted, Wirtz was in the middle row, but still, like that's a lot of ball. He
You know
jumped
the
over
tagline
another
should
person.
be for this fight on the poster, even though they wouldn't have known that then, but they would now. Should have been the line from the original Superman movie. You should just have listed the wrestlers and just said, "You'll believe a man can fly." Sold.
Yeah, it was basically a terrific match, and the ending. My God, the ending. I felt like I wanted the referee to stop the match. From powerbomb.
It was like the episode of The Simpsons where Homer beats up the guy at the Krusty Burger when Homer's impersonating Krusty,
Yeah.
and he beats up the guy that's he's already dead.
Yeah.
Please check my medical alert
Yeah.
bracelet.
It was like a power bomb, and then another 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 power bomb, and you felt like you could feel his bones snapping. With
Like
each
I literally just said,
powerbomb.
all right, dude, don't kick out. Like,
Yeah.
come on. Like, just keep. It became hard to watch as somebody as a performer. It became hard to watch because I knew how much his body was, taking from being power bombed. Like that.
But you know what it also
Yes.
was as well? For people who are like, skeptics like I was almost a year back now. This is, if you want to give someone who doesn't believe, whether this is genuine or not, I would just say you want a new great standard or advertisement for this sport. Watch that match. Period.
Yeah, it was. As I said, it made it seem so much more important, and the fact that Zayn got destroyed the way he did, because it went back and forth. It had a huge back and forth. These guys were killing each other in the ring. It was only that kick.
But
to the
it was
head.
just that it was at some point in time, Kevin took it into the next gear and then just laid the hammer down.
Yeah, definitely.
Right, and I mean, to his credit, like I said, they made Sammy look, like a fighting champion. Like he went down swinging. He didn't actually get pinned. He didn't submit. Referee had to stop the match. I mean, that's just something. I mean, the looks on people's faces were on par with when the Undertaker's streak was broken last year. Like, just holy fuck! Did we just watch that? Is that guy
There was
okay?
a whiff, you could argue, of Drago killing Apollo on the crowd's faces.
It was. It was like, oh my god, is is this really happening? Like, I mean, for
The
even
only thing
even
would
the
have made
most
it better
like,
was when he's pummeling and powerbombing him like that. Was they played that sad bit of music from Platoon while William Dafoe dies? That would have been brilliant.
I mean, you could even see like the people that were like the hardcore wrestling fan, the people that were chanting "Final Battle." They were like, "Oh my God, is this really happening? Like, is Kevin Steen, our Kevin Steen, the guy who Triple H apparently called too fat, is he really about to win the NXT title?"
And you know the
And
thing
yeah,
is, because Miguel
he
was
did.
having a conversation with me about this. Miguel from the Untitled Movie Show was talking about the fact that he
Also did an
believes.
admirable job last week for you, by the way. He was my
Thanks to
unofficial
Miguel for that.
co-host.
He was basically saying to me that he feels that Owens isn't a WWE guy,
None of these guys are WWE guys.
but he feels
That's the
that
thing.
if Owens gets to the main roster, he's not. He's going to be lost in the shuffle. He's not going to be a main event player.
I mean, I think the main event scene might look dramatically different by the time he gets there, and by then, once the main event scene is clear of all like quote unquote the old guard, like John Cena and stuff like that, I think Owens will have no doubt transition because eventually, the main event is going to be Sami Zayn, Cesaro, Daniel Bryan, still probably. Guys that he's all worked before, so not gonna have a problem, I think.
I think he's gonna be fine, totally and utterly fine.
Yeah, I think this
Yeah.
like let this feud develop before you finally judge Kevin Owens because everything he's done, I've said it before. When they hired this guy, I said it. He could be the next Stone Cold Steve Austin. He's got all the tools. He's got the aggressive ring factor. He's got the ability to cut a great promo and really just connect with you through the microphone because that interview that he did with Renee Young where he's just sitting out there alone on like a porch somewhere like somewhere in the NXT on the Full Sail campus taking his tape off just looking at the belt I mean that looked like a real interview. That didn't look like they shot that. They're just like, hey, go up and talk to him and stuff like that. And he's like, oh, hey, you got a camera on me. He was like, congratulate. He's like, thank you. Like, he seems like he's a real person. Like, I know it's wrestling and it's a character, and he changed his name from Kevin Steen to Kevin Owens, but he seems like no gimmick needed is what I like to say, like Lance Storm used to say, and that's exactly what you could say about Kevin Owens. No gimmick
I
needed.
think basically one word sums it up. It's a cliche, but it really is true. Just honest.
Yeah, but that's the thing as well. He's a heel, but in all intents and purposes, he's a heel who's honest about.
He's
what
working
doing.
heel, but you can't not
Yeah, he's like I'm doing this for my family, and
for his family. Like
he's a heel with
but
a
he's-
cause. It's like
It's a heel with a soul.
Yeah, it reminds
like
me.
Heel, but Angel.
Do you know like the main one of the main characters in Watchmen? What was his name? The intelligent, the guy who gets
Ozymandias?
revealed. Yes, the one who gets revealed as the villain at the end. And
Do it
Ozymandias.
for all the right
You
reasons.
sit there and you hate the guy until he tells you the reason behind it, and then all the heroes get behind him and said, "This is the only way." Do you know what I mean?
Apart from Warships.
Right. No, I can
Sorry,
say
people-
that's pretty
spoilers.
bad.
He blew up.
There's a human. It seems the way that he portrays his characters. He's human. I'm doing this because
It's
I
a
have
means
a
to an
family.
end.
Yeah, I have a family to feed. I get more money because you were my best friend, and I fucked you over. You're going to give me this title match, and he made it. He made it his own within
And
2
I
months.
guarantee you, the next NXT taping, or within a couple of weeks, because Zayn was on the Abu Dhabi tour, so he'll be out. He'll miss the first slate of NXT tapings. When he comes back, guarantee you, this is you have not seen the last of this. This is going to be. I mean, I would shit bricks. I mean, I know we're only 45 days out, and it's not actually possible. But this has a match that could be a WrestleMania. And God, I would love it if feud goes so long we go to next WrestleMania. But
I can
that's the
see it
future.
happening, and to me, I think we will see Zayn get the title back eventually.
These guys are going to trade the belt back and forth. I think it's
Yeah.
going to be I think this is going to be very short though, because I think this is going to be just like a prove thing to get the audience behind them, and I think they might fast track both these guys, or at least Kevin Owens. They definitely seem to have, put the rocket ship on him already by already putting the NXT title on him 2 months to the day. 2 months to the day after he walks into the company, or walks into the.
That's another thing I said to Miguel. Look how much faith Triple H has in this guy that he gave him the NXT Championship 2
And a
months
guy that
to
he
the day.
supposedly had no intention of ever signing. I mean, and he, proved to him that, I'm going to make you sign me. Yeah. There was a internet story that apparently maybe about a year or so before Steen signed with the WWE, Triple H just called him a fat nobody, a fat indie nobody or something like that. And that actually, no, it was maybe like 2 years or so. And that actually motivated
So basically
Kevin.
fueled him, and he was like, no, fuck you, I'm going to prove you wrong.
It fueled him to, get into better shape. And,
So basically, we've
already
got an
super-
underdog story right there.
It was definitely a guy
who... He was considered a write-off from the start, and he was like, no, screw this. I can prove that.
5 years ago? Dude, if you told me 5 years ago Kevin Steen would be winning a WWE title, I would have been like, yeah, right. What, on WWE 2K or WWE whatever video game it was?
Yeah.
Right? Exactly. That's exactly where the wrestling world was 5 years ago. Kevin Steen was seen to be the last guy you would ever think to, one, be in the WWE, two, be successful in the WWE, three, hold a title in the WWE.
Yep.
And he proved all of it. Not for because he was not talented, but just because he wasn't the type of guy that they were going after 5 years ago.
That's
Getting
pretty much
beyond
it.
5 years ago.
It's the fact is, Steen has gone from being nothing to something.
Does that mean,
Yeah,
though,
now
recognized
everybody
that
knows who he
should
is.
change? Because when you see Brandon, that's not the sort of person where it was 5 years ago. Did he basically go like, you know what, no, I can prove you wrong. This thing needs to change. I'm exactly what you need. You just need to understand it in the market moves.
I think he adapted. Like I said, he got into better shape. And he definitely became more of a outspoken character. I think that was the other thing he needed. He didn't really express a whole lot of his personality. He was just kind of this big physical force and stuff like that. Kind of like a tough guy, almost kind of like a hockey grinder, so to speak. I would kind of name him, just like no frills,
Bruiser.
just come out and just,
out bruiser.
yeah, just come out, does his
False
job and stuff like that. And then over like his last year in the Indies or so, you saw him teaming up with the Young Bucks. So he would come out and he would wear the kind of like the Young Bucks kind of paisley fucking gear and stuff like that, and they did their whole shtick and spiel and whatever. He did a thing with my friend Bill Carr. He was him and the Young Bucks. So yeah, I mean, he's definitely put in the work. He's definitely made himself more of a name than he actually was. So he's earned it, and it was like you saw it. That was a genuine reaction from that guy. Like that wasn't a promo. He was like, "Yep, man." Genuine emotion from that guy. You could even tell Renee Young was kind of awkward about it too. Like she's like, "What is this guy gonna say?"
Yeah, he was literally, if you're going to tell me how happy you are for me and how I've been here for 2 months and managed to get the title, great. If you're not, then just leave me alone. I just thought, I was like, whoa. He's like, you can't ruin this moment for me.
Yeah, exactly. Like he's humanizing him. That's what it was. I mean, on his social media account, he posts like one of the most adorable pictures in the world. Like,
his little daughter, yeah.
Like, I want babies now because of that. Like, fuck, god damn it. Damn you, biological clock.
Well, I know someone who probably wants a baby.
What are you worried about? I'm 39.
Yeah, please.
But yeah,
let's not.
The fact of the matter is, there is an upside to Owens versus Zayn, a huge upside, and I really hope that this pays off. And the fact that NXT has gone from strength to strength to strength, I think it will. So going off from that, guys, let's give everyone an overall score for the pay-per-view. So Dave, overall score out of
I was absolutely
give it out
blown
of
away.
10.
I'm not going to give it 10 out of 10 because I'm not going to give anything a 10 out of 10 unless something absolutely blows me away so hard I wake up and it's 15 years in the future. I give it.
You have to give it. It's first of all. It's out of 10. It's out of 10. That's the scale.
So I give it 8.5.
I give it a double Bret Hart. 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. Double Bret Hart.
Double Bret Hart.
Say Nick.
I'm gonna give it a 9. That was holy shit. I always look forward to these NXT specials, and they just keep seeming to somehow top themselves. It's insane. It's like, okay,
You're
how do
going to
we
say
make
that
this
this is
better
going to
than
go
our
down
last
as one of those ones that years from now people will say, do you remember that and where you were when that happened? And it's going to happen.
We don't know that because, every time these specials seem to be topping each other. So the next one that they do in 2 months from now, might be even better. The one that they do 4 months from now might be even better. The one that they do 6 months from now might be better. So, they keep releasing on topping themselves. This is going to be tough, but the bar is set, man. Everybody else on the roster is on notice. Anybody who wasn't on that show, man,
I wonder if they're sticking that shit in their pants ever so such a little bit right now.
They're like, yeah, exactly. If I'm not on that show, I'm like, well, fuck. Everyone's going to be talking about anybody who's on that show from now on, so I got to do something for the next 2 months.
It's going to make
the next
hopefully
one.
It's going to be good for it because it's going to make everyone raise their game.
No, but that's the thing. That's what I agree with. It's going to make everyone raise their game, and hopefully it will make Vince McMahon rethink the way he does wrestling. It's basically the fact that these shows have gone from strength to strength to strength to strength shows how talented these guys are and how much of a great wrestling mind Triple H has. Speaking from someone who's not a fan of Triple H, I'm not a fan of Paul Levesque as a person, but I'm a fan of what he's trying to do for the business. And I am 110% with him, in my opinion. I will give my score again. I'm with Dave. I'm going to go one higher and give it a 9 out of 10. It's not a 10 out of 10 perfect because there were some issues, but overall a far superior show to the Royal Rumble, which to me is only worth.
Well, I mean, was it because the Royal Rumble was such a flaming fucking tire fire of a show?
It was badly booked. It was badly booked. The matches didn't make any sense. The stories didn't make any sense.
No matter how much the matches didn't make sense, that triple threat match fucking was
but that
incredible.
triple threat match is the only thing that saved the Rumble itself. Like the Rumble itself.
But again, but after that show, everything that came before it was saved, and then everything that happened up until Daniel Bryan was eliminated.
Yeah.
So I think that's what you should judge the Royal Rumble in.
Yeah.
By the way, when the Goldust came out right after Daniel Bryan got eliminated, how did we not catch that?
Yeah, the crowd just were booing the shit. It was actually quite funny.
It went the whole show went tits up after that point. Once Daniel Bryan got eliminated and they realized they weren't going to get that great, Philadelphia wasn't going to be able to chant yes in unison, because that's what I guarantee you, all 17,000 people in that building wanted to do that night. Once they realized that happened, Philadelphia turned on that crowd. And when a Philadelphia crowd turns on you, we're really lucky none of those people had batteries or anything.
Yeah, they literally the Royal Rumble itself after Daniel Bryan was eliminated turned heel.
It went hot. It went.
Yeah, that's where Triple H gave his shovel.
Yeah, and the Rock. I laughed.
Right to Philly.
I laughed when the Rock was holding Reigns' arm up and the crowd was booing, and he's just looking at the crowd like, huh?
It's like, all right, they're not cheering me. They're not happy.
I'm the Rock.
Fuck, what am I doing here?
I'm the Rock, and they're not cheering me. What the fuck? Yeah, he's like, this is kind of a big mistake.
I thought everyone likes me. Every other time I do this would fucking work. I do this in any other town. If Daniel Bryan doesn't get eliminated, that place goes insane. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. So. Yeah. But again, it is what it is. NXT. Brandon, you're the one who's got to give it the final score. So out of 10.
Yeah, I said double Bret Hart, man. 8 out of 10.
There you go. Ladies and gents, leave a comment at the bottom. Tell us what you think of the show. It was a great show in my own point of view and everyone's point of view here. We loved it. I watched it twice. That's how much I loved it. Well worth the $9.99 for the WWE Network. I will say.
How about this way? It was the best wrestling, second best wrestling event. Okay, maybe it might be tied for the best wrestling event of the year I've seen so far. Because again, Wrestle Kingdom 9, top to bottom, I thought was a great card.
Yeah.
I think this is right up on par with
Now, let's go to the Iron Sheik tweet of the week. But I've got a new intro for it, Brandon, with this.
Okay.
Fuck him! I talked to him! I wanna know, are you the man or are you a fucking piece of shit? No, you motherfucker! Fucking bullshit!
Oh, this segment!
Bullshit, Hulk Hogan! I'm the rare, all-American gold medal. You are good. You are the best. But you know, I beat the fuck up. Fuck! Fuck! Oh, ho, ho! You know it, jabroni! Fuck! Fuck!
Oh my God! That
just
is
put the
exactly.
pressure on. You better
Wow.
run bloody,
I
Iron
know.
Sheik
I know.
now.
I think that's the iron. Like, I gotta come up with a tweet to live with that. I don't know if my tweet really lives up to that great intro, because Iron Sheik was all over the place this week on Twitter, as he always is. Go see Iron Sheik's movie again, shakemovie.com. But I think this one, when I was going through my Iron Sheik Twitter research, I didn't want to do anything about 50 Shades of Grey because I felt that would be too stereotypical, and then I came across this gem, which really
Please must
set
let
me
me
off.
tell the story. It's only 30 seconds long that I told on the cast with Mike last night, which is I had the greatest endorsement for why that movie is shit ever between the bloke and his mate behind me when I was on the off license. And do you know what it was? Someone said, "You're going to go and watch 50 Shades of Grey?" And his mate actually said, and I laughed out loud because I was aware he was going to punch me, but he's smart. He go, yeah, his mate said, "Yeah, I might go and watch it. It might be worth a wank." Put that on the poster, people.
If you're anyway. So yeah, I decided not to go with that one because there were a lot of ones about that today. But then I came across this gem, which I really couldn't miss. This is true Iron Sheik. He goes, "The greatest living Iranian says." Here we go. Hello, Rod Stewart. Have I told you lately to go fuck yourself? And that, ladies and gentlemen, is your Iron Sheik tweet of the week.
That lives up to the
Bullshit!
I hope so. I hope so.
It does, because it's certainly something I've wanted to do for a very long time.
You know what? One more time. Let's do it.
Oh, we're gonna play the music?
Fuck him! I talked to him! I wanna know, are you the man or are you a fucking piece of shit? No good motherfucker! Fucking bullshit! Bullshit, Hulk Hogan! I'm the rare, all-American gold medal. You are good. You are the best. But you know, I beat the fuck up. Fuck! Fuck! Oh, ho, ho! You know it, jabroni! Fuck! Fuck!
That's never getting old.
Oh, it's so
Please
good.
send it to me so I can use it as my ringtone.
Oh, that's fucking brilliant.
Yes.
Seriously.
Yeah, it's. I found this by accident, believe it or not, because I was trying to find. I deleted the old intro, the old outro for that, and I was just like, shit, I've got to find it again. And I typed it in. I was like, what's this? I played it. I was like, this is gold. I am downloading this now.
No, this is what this segment really needed. Now the segment has been just taken to a whole new level.
Now we're platinum, bitches.
Now I really have to like whole ass it. I can't use.
Now you
my
have to bring your A
hands
game. Mr.
I know,
Liggan.
every week now, because it has to match
What
that,
pressure.
that
Ladies and
epic.
gentlemen, just as well, we just want to update you guys on Nigel McGuinness's Kickstarter. If you've donated to lafights.com, go to www.lafights.com. Check it out there. Nigel talks a little bit candidly about the fact that it wasn't successful in Kickstarter, but he has actually piqued interest of some backers who are looking to actually fully finance the project, so it may get off the ground after all. So, Nige, we are 100% with you, my friend. Keep going, keep living the dream, and more wrestling isn't necessarily a bad thing. So great to see it. This project happening. More updates coming when we get them.
Nice. Keep being strong.
Exactly. Make it look strong. And one thing I want to go to quickly. Bryan versus Reigns, Fastlane. What does everyone think of this?
Well, I think these guys, they're definitely trying to, drum up as much interest as possible, because these are obviously two of the biggest faces they have going right now. Obviously, somebody has to work the heel. Obviously, Bryan is the more experienced of the two. He should work heel. So I don't have a problem with
the crowd
that.
will be behind him as a heel, though. I don't think it's
no, I think at this point in time he's, but he has to work the heel, there has to be a heel in the match, so.
But I think Reigns would
play that
probably be the
role.
better heel out of the two, because the crowd, like for Reigns,
I think it's too obvious, and that goes counterproductive to what, they want to do.
because they're kind of half and half at the moment,
Yes.
So you never know; it could happen. But as a wrestling fan, don't see a worst thing about it. Apparently, they may be leading to Bryan versus Reigns versus Lesnar match at WrestleMania, triple threat. I've seen triple threats at WrestleMania. I think the one which is the standard bearer is Michaels versus Benoit versus Triple H, which was an amazing match. I found it extremely enjoyable. I would, if I could see something on par with that, and I think we can do, but having Reigns in kind of the Triple H role, Bryan in kind of the role of Chris Benoit, and Lesnar being himself, of course, because face it, no one else can be Shawn Michaels. But it looks like a good thing. I think Vince is like they're kind of troubleshooting, in a sense, trying to do a bit of damage control, because they saw how the fans are turning on Reigns already, because of the fact that they tried to force him down people's throats. Again, I don't have an issue with Roman at all. I think the issue is the WWE.
Your issue is just not now. Your issue is he's not that he's not going to be that guy, but just not now. Where my argument is, well, if not now, when?
Well, another thing I want to ask,
Which would be my argument, which is why not now? Why not?
Well, why not now?
Exactly. Why not now?
Okay, I can explain this one. Why not now is because look at what they did. Look at how people are turning on him because they forced him down our throats. The thing is, when you turn someone, it has to be organic. It's like if I said Brandon's going to be my new face of Slamcast, right? Which he is anyway. But if I had him in that role, the crowd liked Brandon, and then I try and force you, Dave, into that role, people are going to instantly turn on you and say, well, we hate this guy.
Yeah, possibly because he knows shit tons more about wrestling than I do.
No, but it's
Roman
not
Reigns
that.
is still
It's
a solid wrestler.
he's solid, but he's not amazing. He's kind of one of those guys that you'd call an all-around brawler, but he's yet to understand the fight. He knows the fundamentals, but he's yet to understand.
Why do you think I like him? It comes back to I like brawlers.
Yeah, no, but it goes also to the fact that he needs to work different styles. The best.
I know what you
wrestlers-
say. He comes back to a professional level of being a completist.
but not yet. And it's also the Big Daddy Cool effect. Do you remember what happened with Diesel, Brandon?
Yes, he became too oversaturated, and let's see what I think Diesel's problem was. Now we're getting totally sidetracked, but I think there was not enough competition for him. Like Bret Hart was the best challenger he ever had, and that was the guy who took the belt off.
Yeah, but the whole reason was because they knew that the experiment wasn't working, so Vince kind of pulled the trigger on back.
Yeah, I think they didn't put him with they didn't want to put him with the Undertaker because the Undertaker was also a face at that time.
Yeah.
So
and they kind of oversaturated him. They tried to convert him from being the tweener that he was, the heel that he was, and made him basically, as you put it, a white meat baby face. And it didn't work.
as he would put it,
Yeah.
a white meat baby face.
Yeah, and he was just like, "Why? I don't kiss kids. My character never kissed kids. by him going around kissing kids, and that's the problem. And I think that's one of the things that kind of put people off Cena a bit as well. He started as a heel. They turned him into a white meat babyface. He stayed a white meat babyface. They keep doing this whole never give up, underdog bullshit with him, and people see through it. And that's the problem when it comes to Reigns. The same thing's happening because they're not learning from their mistakes, and thus is where the problem lies. If they learn from these mistakes and go, wait, maybe we can do something else with the guy. Maybe we should organically push him by giving him the IC belt. Start him at the mid-card level.
Have him beat Rusev.
Yeah.
I've said this before. That's the perfect way to slowly elevate, Reigns.
Yeah, and slowly elevate
Have
him
him
through
beat-
that way. And I think it would work. Give him a nice, solid mid-card run. But they're not doing that. They want him as the world champion now, and that's where the problem's going to lie. Because eventually,
Yep.
if they pull the trigger at WrestleMania, I guarantee you within 2 months he will lose the belt. And a lot of it is going to be due to the fact that no one will give a fuck. Again, Rey Mysterio.
Depends how they do it, man. I think if him and Brock have a really strong match and him and Brock beat the absolute piss at each other, which I think they have a possibility to do, and Reigns comes out the stronger of the two, strong.
Rey Mysterio versus Randy Orton. Just saying. Great, Mysterio versus Orton versus Angle. Great match. What happened? People started.
Yeah, people lost. Ray lost his momentum. All right,
Yeah.
I got it. You made your point.
I
concede the point, sir.
It's basically the same thing, and you gotta 9 times out of 10, and I'm a student of the game myself. I'm someone who's been there, and when I was wrestling, one of the things that got me over was I organically connected with the crowd. People got behind me. I wasn't an underdog. I wasn't a white meat babyface. I was just a guy, a guy who came with a snappy gimmick. I could entertain people. If you want to check out my match, by the way, you can check out one of my matches on Retro Arnhem's YouTube channel, www.youtube.com/Retro Arnhem Live. Check it out. It's got one of my matches in there, and the crowd were behind me, and a lot of it was just because I could connect with people. You need some growth. You need to basically build Reigns up to that point where he's that white meat babyface of the company. You don't do it, you're going to kill any little sort of career that you think he's going to have. So, Nick, any thoughts? Nick?
It's just they've been pushing this guy they are shoving Reigns down our throats, and they had the story there with Bryan, but no, we're going to go with Reigns. Fuck everybody else.
I agree. Dave?
Sorry, I was having a massive belch.
I thought you said you had a massive wank.
Well, not that quickly.
Did you make Reigns look strong? Yeah, go on.
I agree with what you're saying. I do, and I understand that the backlash upon him being forced down people's throats and stuff. But I still kind of think, I'm torn there because you're right. Give him a middle run, but part of me just goes, well, why not? Give him a shot.
But the problem
as long
is,
as they match it up correctly.
Sometimes
I know he got crap before, but I think they set the match up properly. Do everything right. Give him, like Brandon said, give him a fight where it's literally just going to be people beating the shit out of each other fully through the entire thing. I can't see any solid reason not to. That's just my 2 pence.
Yeah, it's as I
mean,
said.
if Reigns can suplex Brock Lesnar, I think that will alleviate a lot of the doubts in people's mind.
Yeah,
if he does. He's saying basically there'll be an about turn from half the people who have lost interest in him right now.
I don't think so. I think the problem is people want Bryan. They want Bryan to be that guy, and I think the WWE needs to give them Bryan. But again, we will see. I'm not gonna push the matter. I think in terms of that, and it's a great way to end the show tonight. So let's take it away to plugs. Mr. Dave Wade, where can we find you?
You can find me The Church of Christ. Sorry. You can find me at Lawnboys Post 1975 if you like your retro games, you like your modern games, and if you want to see Nick's amazing intro for I finally found that Nick. I knew I stuck it in a folder. My problem is I make folders and give them a really stupid name because I think I'll remember them, and then I forget them. So yeah, if you want to see Nick's amazing intro for my Rainbow Six Vegas 2 gameplay, go and check it out. And if you just like retro and all shit like that, go and check me out. And also if you want to check me out on Facebook at Lawnboys Post, do it now because I'm probably not going to be around much longer on there with this naming convention.
Yeah. Nick?
Yeah.
Go for it.
All right, you can find me on Twitter at GamingPegasus187. You can find me on YouTube at the GamingPegasus187. You can find me on Facebook at Nick Horacek. You can find me on Xbox Live, the Wii U, WWE Supercard, Instagram, Pegasus187. I'm on PlayStation Network. I haven't played my Vita in a week. I've been playing a lot of fucking Borderlands 2. And
you are the most network man on this cast, aren't you, basically?
Pretty much. I just... I stuff, but I enjoyed the hell out of the fusion chamber on Supercar.
Oh.
And we also still need to do it's going to sound really bad, a three-way of us all Mario Karting. I think that would be really fun.
Yeah. By the way, if anybody is up for a game of Smash Brothers tomorrow, because I was supposed to have me and a tag team partner versus Xander and a tag team partner of his choosing, that's not going to happen. So if you want anyone up for a live stream of Super Mario, or Smash Brothers, should I say, I would love to give you guys a game.
What time are we talking? Because
I don't mind any time of the day.
If it's in the day, I'll be in bed. I'm not going to lie.
Cool. Well, tomorrow evening I'm going to go.
I'm Captain Nocturnal. People find this weird about me. Even when I don't work, I keep my nocturnal working hours.
Well, I'm gonna go and watch 50 Shades of Grey with a friend in the cinema. We're retitling Valentine's Day Palentine's Day, so yay.
Jeez.
Yeah,
I'm glad you're going. I'm glad you're going, so you at least didn't waste your money.
No, dude, I spent the money. I'm just like, I don't give a shit if we fell out.
That's what I'm saying, son. You spent the money. You fucking go.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't give a shit if we fell out. I bought the fucking tickets.
Yeah. Give me some money back then.
Yeah, fuck that shit. It's either that or you pay me for the fucking tickets. No.
Exactly. You ain't made a goddamn money.
Fucking I ain't no fucking broke motherfucker. Anyway, find me you find this show and among others on nerdgenius.com. If you go to youtube.com/thenerdgenius, which is my channel, it's where we're hosting these live streams at the moment until Warner Music Group stops having their finger up their fucking anuses. Fuck you, Warner Music Group.
Fucking bullshit!
For taking down a video of 25 fucking views because you want to give me a copyright strike. Bring it on, bitch.
Something that apparently was fucking royalty-free anyway.
We're hosting the streams on my personal YouTube channel until we've resolved the issue. Hopefully it's going to take 10 to 14 days to resolve it. It's one of those things. It will work. Be cool, be happy, and don't worry about it too much. We're still doing content, and let's go on there. And secondly, if you want to check out my newest video, and that's basically Bayonetta. I've done a rather British review on that. People love it.
You got shit on as well, didn't you?
What's that?
You got grief on that as well, didn't you?
Oh yeah, from Sega. That was fun. But yeah, let's go from that. That's going to be great. And make sure that you guys check that out as well. Great little video. People are loving it. I'm going to be doing my next one, which is 2K15 with Brandon and Nick. It's taken its time because I've been running around trying to sort this video out and other things at the same time. Got other projects, bits and pieces coming up. Stay tuned. I'm doing the fundraising at the moment for the Silent Hill Genesis pilot. Take a look at that. I've got loads of other projects coming up, so if you want to find out from me, go to IMDb Michael Burhan, facebook.com/Michael Burhan, Twitter Michael Burhan, and Brandon, take it away.
All right, thank you, Mr. Burhan. All right, so if you like professional wrestling, because if you're listening to this podcast, why the fuck are you? Why the fuck would you not be? Go out and support your local independent wrestling company. They are around you. I guarantee you, no matter where you live, if you're not surrounded entirely by, if you're not in the ocean, in an island in the middle of the South Pacific Ocean, I guarantee you there's independent professional wrestling taking place in your local municipality. All you have to do is just go out and find it. There are people out there trying to live a dream, God damn it, and support them. Yeah, I think that's it for me. Support me on the Twitter, @BrandonAllHope. On the Instagram, apparently nothing. I'm sort of on there sometimes.
And I'm starting a Kickstarter to make him grow his beard back, people. So support that.
Yeah, that goes directly to me, hopefully.
It doesn't go to the beard fund.
Actually, it goes to Kurt Russell because
it goes to the maintaining of the beard.
Whatever, yeah, because it's a lot of money. It's all the work to maintain that beard. So again, for Nick Horacek, for Mr. Dave Wade, and for Mr. Michael Burhan, and the cast of thousands, I'm Brandon Liggan saying good night. Go forth and spread beauty and light.
This show is sponsored by Seth Rollins' penis. You may not be able to find it, you may not know where to look, but it is there. The man with the washboard stomach and the amazing, amazing muscles just quite can't cut it, but soon you may be able to find it if you can look hard enough. Seth Rollins' penis, folks. This show is also sponsored by Seth Rollins' penis. Yes, Mr. Money in the Bank
Sponsor spot.
always goes for the money shots. The man who simply doesn't know how to cash it in. Seth Rollins' penis. If you squint, you might be able to see it. This show is also sponsored by that Frank Stevens boobs, because, my God, I saw that photo and I can understand why Seth cheated.